that wins, I'm going to go with black. I like blue more. I want to do a coin flip. I would reach for this. I like this a lot. I've only had 6 drinks. I don't know, I feel like I'm making a mistake. That is one of the best drinks I've ever had. I would spend more money on these bottles than anything I've ever spent on. This is the hardest decision I've had to make. Mary Mash off 10, here we go. So we are doing clear glasses. If you were present in the last video, I thought that the colors were influencing my brain because I'm an idiot. So I have to go to clear glasses, but now I can tell the color difference in the whiskey. So now I have another problem. Whatever, here we go. Really good nose. What am I getting? Barely legal rye. Spice, sweet, right? Those are both common to barely legal ryes or really good high proof, like high percentage ryes. I like to cover all my bases so I don't look like an idiot because I am. Okay, I mean, yeah, very, very spicy on the nose, very sweet on the nose as well. Like the spice and the sweet are both at a level 10 for me. It seems bright. I'm trying to see if I can find any orange on there. I don't think so. There is a smoke note, not peat. And again, I want to carry that bright word throughout this. And again, this is the first nose. I haven't even taken a sip, but bright, spicy, sweet, level 10. All right, let's go to the palate. Oh my gosh. Okay, so don't interpret that as bad. When I was in my mouth, my tongue literally stuck to my teeth. That is so dry. That's unbelievably dry. But I loved it. I loved that. That was really weird. So dry notes would typically come on like double oaks, like super high aged stuff, things like that. But this is relatively light, especially compared to this one. I don't know if y'all can tell the difference in the camera. That's pretty light. I mean, I would call that gold at best. I will say this too, sometimes on high proof Buffalo Trace products, I'll get that really dry note, but that was a dry feeling. Dude, I loved that. I really loved that. The term carrot cake is coming through. Some ginger, some sweet cream. Yeah, like bready, but again, like in a cake note, in a bakery note. I like that. I like carrot cake. I like that note. Beautiful. I mean, that is good. That is exceptional. That might be phenomenal on the nose. Extremely spicy, extremely sweet. A couple videos ago, what was it? I don't remember what it was, but I said something was in like the top 3 or 4 sweet notes, and it was. But this is, oh man, like that is good. And again, nose is important to me. That is a winner right there. I don't care what this is. We're good. I've only had 6 drinks, so. Okay, so I don't care what that is. Like, it's gonna have a really hard time beating this nose. That is super freaking good. That is one of the best drinks I've ever had. I hope that's mine. And this is good too. And these are different for me. I'm gonna call this more, and this is why I've been struggling, because like I feel like the videos are tying into each other. I'm gonna call this more funk. It is, okay, Red Hots. But, okay, take Red Hots, yes, take Red Hots and just dump a bunch of caramel over it and just mash it up. Put some good whiskey in it. Oh my gosh. I've said that things are hard to decide between on these videos. This is the hardest decision I've had to make. I don't know what these are. I don't even have a suggestion, but they are so sweet. So I always say, like, you know, level 10 sweetness, level 10 baking spice, level 20. both of them. Spicier on this, little more dried fruit on that. Based on a blind, I would spend more money on these bottles than anything I've ever spent on. I get that drying feeling again, like my tongue was still sticking to my teeth on that. Like there was a very drying feeling. Great mouthfeel all around, super spicy, tongue, gums. I think the finish is better on this one. But dude, I don't have a single, even like remotely negative comment on either one. Okay. Okay, here's what I think. I'm trying to be as truthful and as honest as I can. I cannot tell the difference between these. And that's it, man. And these are the same thing, a little higher proof, and I get a little more potency on the sweet with this. This is a little more potency on the sweet. Let me preface this. I don't remember if I put Penelope 15 year in here, but for probably 2 years, I said that Penelope American Light Whiskey was my favorite whiskey, and it wasn't even close. It was like, you know, blah, 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 and then Penelope American Light Whiskey 15 year up here, like not even close. Fountain North and Redbreast 12 cask strength gave similar notes, but they weren't as quality. But Penelope American Light Whiskey was like, I love all these bourbons and ryes and wheats, but then Penelope, it's a different category. And that's what this gives me. And this is even sweeter. So this is, hang on. That's sweeter. I don't know, I feel like I'm making a mistake. This is sweeter, it's higher proof. I thought it was less sweet, but this is sweeter and higher proof. I'm gonna go with it. Oh gosh. I feel like these are both American Light Whiskeys. This is the winner. What we got, Jordan?
Obtanium 26-year Canadian single barrel.
Here? Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh. Okay. What is this?
That is Fountain North Hoverhawk.
Yeah, Fountain North Hoverhawk. Okay. So, light whiskeys. So finished in ex-American barrels. Not always specifically bourbon, but I'm gonna assume they're gonna be bourbon. If you know the answer to that, please tell me. Obtanium. Okay, so proof is like 150?
151.
151. Proof is 130? 123. Okay, so the Obtanium is 100% corn. So that's where the sweet comes from. Again, American light whiskey, Canadian light whiskey, light whiskey in general. If you haven't had any of this stuff, dude, oh my gosh. So NBC sells a Canadian light whiskey. This is Obtanium, Canadian light whiskey. Found North, which is blends of different Canadian light whiskeys. Penelope, American light whiskey. Jacob's Pardon batch 3 is a light whiskey. Light whiskey is a different category. They're going to be distilled at higher proofs, higher barrel entry proofs, and they're going to be aged in X barrels. So rye, corn, whatever it is. So the Obtanium is an X rye barrel. So that's where I was getting, that might be where I was getting a little bit of like, oh, is it as sweet? But yes, it is. That is so freaking good. 26 years? 26 years. So hyper aged. Again, it's Canadian, so it's a slower process. Light whiskey is amazing. If you haven't tasted it yet, taste it. Now, it's always going to be higher proof. Okay, let's go to some history of light whiskey. So light whiskey was a response to vodka, gin, and other clear spirits in the 70s and 80s when bourbon was kind of on the decline. and kids were rebelling against their parents for the dark liquors, right? So bourbon was an old man's drink, right? It's a dark liquor, things like that, right? So light whiskey was what they tried to do to combat gin and vodka. It didn't really do well. But now, because everything is more of a connoisseur spirit, people are going after more flavor and more age, more complexity, right? Things are taking off. Is this phenomenal? Hell yes, right? And Found North, like you might not be able to, okay, you will not be able to find it in your stores, most likely. It's still not that hard to obtain. All you got to do is subscribe through email, they're on their website, and you enter the lottery. Every time you lose, your odds go up. I've won 2 of them. Found North, this is Hoverhawk 15 year, and they do different releases based on kind of different profiles, but they're blending high-aged rye and corn whiskeys. Super great brand. If you like Canadian whiskey and you want to try some good stuff, try it, right? This is also Canadian whiskey. It's Canadian light whiskey. Stupid. It's just stupid good. Again, I think this takes the cake, but y'all need to start getting into this stuff. I have a sweet tooth. I love the sweet, spicy stuff. That's always gonna be my winner. I don't know what else to say about this. Like, go find insert any aged light whiskey, American or Canadian, probably particularly Canadian because it'd be probably more aged, but you're not gonna go wrong. Obtanium, so Steven wins on that. My brother Steven wins on that. But this was super good too. Like, can't say enough about it. Check them out for sure.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching the Mary Mashoff series. That was super fun. Really enjoyed it. Unfortunately, it was a tie, but we're going to do it again next year and probably be a lot more prepared. Stay tuned for a lot of new series to come, educational videos. I'm part of a new organization now as well, and then we're going to be doing some experimental stuff with all the bottles I have. So a lot of cool stuff coming. Looking forward to a lot of videos with y'all. Thanks for supporting. See you next time.